Right, right. You right, guys and girls. It's Wednesday, 22nd of January, 2020. It's 6:35 in the morning, and at the moment, this room behind me, not the room I'm in now, but the room here, and on. So the room behind me here is my real brother's room, right? And he's at the moment like actually using his 2 weeks' money to get pissed and all of that. And then my mum like tends to give him money and stuff from time to time and all of that. And I said to her to stop keep doing that because you're encouraging him, and because he's an alcoholic as well. This is what he does. He comes to my mum because he knows she's too soft and she's not sort of hard enough like my dad used to be. He used to just tell him to do one and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so my mum's actually so weak that she won't even throw him out. Not even on the street. Because the thing is, he's always like sort of being verbally abusive to my mum all the time. And she takes it, right? She takes it so much, and then she goes, "Oh, you'll know when you'll have kids and stuff at some point. You won't throw your kids out. Trust me, guys and girls. If the way he reacts, that my real brother reacts like that when he's drunk and pissed up and all of that, and having these like sort of like long sessions of drinking and all that kind of stuff, these 36-hour benders or 46-hour benders, then well, it's just the way it is. He just gets pissed, doesn't give an F at all, and it doesn't give a B as well. And he's very abusive, as always. And he's right behind in the other room, just gets drunk and all that. And he's very sort of like paranoid to the point where he's sort of like he get like if he thinks that someone's onto him, he starts trying to like sort of like being abusive to that person, rather than sort of blaming himself for the drinking and stuff in a way. Because to be honest, it's him who's drinking the alcohol and all that kind of stuff. But he likes to put his problems on everybody else. But then at the moment we've got my other brother, which is not my real brother. He's like my half brother because he's on my dad's side and all that. Back in a second, guys and girls. Oh, and I can hear him walking. And he likes to urinate on the carpet when he's drunk as well, which is really bad and all that. I think he's doing it now by the sounds of it, which is absolutely bad and needs to be stopped. And we've told the housing about it and stuff, and they can't do much about it. They said it's down to my mum to throw him out and put him on the street, and then my mum's frightened that he might end up doing something to himself if we kick him out. But the thing is, there's many, many people on the street at the moment, hundreds of thousands of people homeless at the moment. Back in a second. Right, I was just seeing what was going on because he was like shouting a little bit at the back. But anyway, so he just urinates on the floor and that when he's drunk, and then when I take my mum to the toilet, he starts getting paranoid, thinks we're Russian spies or something, or thinks we're spying on him, and then he starts talking to his friends. He goes to these like little chat rooms and stuff. That these chat rooms need to be closed down because there's a lot of shit going on them at the moment, which actually the government are not even looking at some of these chat rooms and stuff, and they definitely need to like sort of find out and all that. But he's very abusive. He's got very bad vocal language and all that. Vocal language, and then he's like going there singing, keeping everybody awake at 6:42 in the morning. So yeah, I mean, kind of keeps everybody awake, and that's why I don't get much sleep and all that. I probably get 1 or 2, 3 hours sleep at the most. And he goes around nicking all the food out of the fridge in the mornings and stuff. He'll nick like the pastas and stuff when we put food in there, and he's not paying any into it at all. He'll just like sort of just go for the pastas and stuff and all that. Or any food. Actually, we bought some tins of meatballs the other day to put in the actual cupboard, and they vanished. And I knew it was him because my other brother, my half brother, he can't even open actually a tin at all. I have to do all the tins. So there's only one person, and I'll back in a minute. It's believe it. Right, so I don't know if you can actually hear him, guys and girls. And he's just talking like dirty stuff and all that kind of stuff to people. And this is the kind of shit we're getting at the moment. It's like him just talking about all kinds of like women's parts and all the blokes and all that kind of stuff and that kind of vulgar shit. And you don't need that kind of crap at this night time or this morning while we're trying to sleep. And then I've got my half brother, he tries to tell my mum what to do, and then my mum won't actually throw them both out because basically we've got this bedroom tax. If you've got a 4-bedroom house and all of that, if you've got a 4-bedroom house and you've got, say, you've knocked 2 people out and you've got 2 bedrooms spare, then basically the tax man comes along and says, look, we're going to put a tax on those 2 rooms and you're going to have to pay. So it's like the equivalent of having them there when, yeah, it's called the bedroom tax. It's like having them there when they actually are not there. And then basically I've got my brother, like when my mum gets electric, my mum has to sign, we got a key where you put the electric on. Now we put like, we do like sort of pay as you go sort of thing on it. It's not the contracted sort of thing. So when you put the money on the actual key itself, on the electric key, we can put as much as we like on there and just top it up on the meter and all that. And I actually have to keep the radiator off as much as we can because we're trying to save as much money as we can on our bills and stuff. So because my mum's a little bit behind. Yeah, yeah, and then it tells us to stick the radiator on and stuff, but we won't because we're trying to sort of scrape to get by and stuff at the moment. Because at the moment we're like a little bit behind on the bills. My mum's a little bit behind. And some of the money we need to keep by for the food and stuff, so we're not actually going to try and starve ourselves, but we've have to try and cut our losses somewhere. So so we have hardly anything at the end of the week. And if you think like disabled people, right, guys and girls, if you think that disabled people actually have a lot of money, then you are mistakenly wrong because once you've paid some of your bills, or you paid some of your food, or paid your electric, your gas, your TV license, and sort of like whatever bills you got left, whatever money you got left afterwards to get food, you're probably left with what, £20-30 just to get that. Might be even £10 at the most for like sort of food. And sometimes I have to sort of try and get cheaper. So I've been getting some of the cheap beans at the moment, baked beans, the Sainsbury's Basics, where you get 6 of them, £1.50, and it's still kind of expensive just for like 6 lots of tins of beans. So it works out, what's that about? 4 tins of baked beans for 6 at £1.50. What's that about 30p or something? Yeah. Roughly about 30p. So we try and scrape as much money as we can, and it's at the moment it's just like sort of hectic when we got this one person who lives with us, my real brother and all that kind of stuff, and he's not paying anything into the house at all. He just wants to get alcohol every single day, put it in the fridge, and then try and nick food out the fridge as well, and just won't pay any into the house. I mean, if it had been paying some money into the house, then we might have some money like kept by and all that kind of stuff to scrape by, and we might be able to sort of gain. But it's sort of like, it's just, he just won't pay any, not 1 penny. But then we've got the other brother, like half brother, who's like sort of disabled and stuff, mentally disabled and stuff. Mentally? Yeah, mentally. That's what I just said. Mentally disabled, and he like to sort of attack people and stuff if they say one word to him and all that kind of stuff. Then we've got that kind of punch you or knock you out or something, and thinks and says and tries to strangle people and stuff, and then or try and shove a plastic bag over your head or some shit like that. But I mean, he tried that with my one brother and stuff. He tried to put a plastic bag over him when he was like sort of 7-8 years old, something. He caught him that, and and Dad wouldn't throw him out the house, and we tried to get him sorted out.
Your dad wasn't in. Your dad told me not to get and I did because it was raining.
Yeah, because it was raining. You felt sorry for him, and it was the biggest mistake you've ever done.
It was,
yeah. So it's.
And then his dad come back.
Yeah.
And actually, I let him in. Yeah. He went upstairs where the other one was. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the other one was running down the stairs, and I saw.
Because he was chasing him after with a knife and all that.
No.
Or was it a plastic bag?
No, he had a plastic bag, and he was 20 years old at the time.
Yeah, 20 years old, doing it to like an 8-year-old and all that kind of stuff.
Trying to
chase him after a bag and all that.
To put the plastic bag over.
Yeah, so it's. I mean, this is the kind of shit we're actually dealing with we're dealing like with like sort of, to be honest, in a mental capacity of his rating, probably a psychopath, pretty much.
He blamed his mother.
And then he keeps blaming his mum, his real mum, for it. This is my half brother and all that kind of stuff.
Because she was a married woman.
Because she was a married woman, she's going off with all the blokes and stuff at the time and that. And this is kind of shit we're putting up with and all.
He accuses me and calls me a prostitute.
And then he calls you a prostitute for like.
That's what he's told other people.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm doing is just showing you guys and girls what kind of stuff like people are living with. Like you get a lot of people in like houses like this kind of stuff. It'd be families like us, but they don't show their kind of sort of lives of what goes on. And I want to just show what, because I'm sure there's a lot of millions of people who are suffering the same thing. And if you feel exactly the same, guys and girls, get some help. Don't be frightened to just try and get some help at least. Because I said to my mum, we need to go to the doctors about this one, because him keep drinking and all that, and try and get him the help he needs. But they used to do it where you could put someone away, if they were like alcoholics and stuff, and just put them away and all that. Or if they're mentally ill or something, you could put them in. But now they've got this thing where they got freedom of like human rights and all that, and they could do what they want and stuff and all that, and it's just not fair on my mum, to be honest. And then if you get the police on to people like that, they say, oh, we can't get involved. The police can't get involved because it's a family dispute. So you're really on the like sort of thin ice there, because you don't know. They can't get in. The police can't do anything unless they actually do something. And then by the time they've done something, it's a bit too late and stuff. That's why a lot of social services, they come knocking on the door, and then they see if the person's all right, and then they come back and then they find they're dead because it's too late now and stuff. So it's it's one of these kind of things. But anyway, I'm going to try and get as much sleep as I can, because it's 6:51 in the morning, and I can hear some feedback coming off his microphone, off his speakers, trying to keep everybody awake at this time in the morning. And he just don't listen to anybody when he's pissed and drunk, and that is, it's hard to reason with someone when they're drunk and stuff and all that.
And
so
you can't.
And you can't do anything. And you can't reason with someone who's like mentally gone in the head as well. So it's like, you could get rid of him, but then we have the bedroom tax to pay and all that kind of stuff. And it's just not fair on my mum, because I'm looking after her as much as I can. We're just keeping her in here, and when I take her to the toilet, we get this person behind me who's like sort of paranoid, thinks they're talking about him and all this kind of stuff.
Social won't come.
And social won't come in because the mental one basically might end up like sort of trying to attack them and all that kind of stuff. So they're not trying to risk it and stuff. And then we got, and then they actually stopped my money, my PIP and all that, PIP, and I'm still waiting for that to come back. So that's why we're a bit scraping by at the moment on the PIP and stuff, because of the money issues at the moment. So because I've got health problems myself. I've got heart trouble, which I've had when I was 3 weeks old, and I've got a scar, and I actually got accused last time of not having a scar on my back, but that was by someone else. I'm not going to say, but that was by someone else, saying I haven't got a scar and haven't had an operation, and I've not had a heart operation, even though I got a scar down my back. And I've actually did a video of that, guys and girls, already on my channel.
It was really funny, actually. That person said, oh, I saw your back, and you didn't have one then.
Yeah, I didn't have one then. But then again, what's that? Back? Yeah, back, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really funny coming from a man saying he looks at your back.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
what would they be looking at my back in the first place? That's what I think.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, unless they're like sort of a bit funny or something, but or a bit weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys and girls, if you enjoy this episode, do like, favourite, share, comment, subscribe. Let us know if you're in the same sort of situation and all that. But definitely get some help if you're in the same situation. I mean, it's funny me saying that, getting some help, because we need help ourselves. But I think we're going to come up with some ideas to try and help us a little bit. But anyway, cheers for watching. Stay safe and see you soon.